The vault has been cracked open. Just think about that for a second. That single sentence, it just appeared in this absolute whirlwind of leaks and rumors. It's the sound of a world, a very carefully built world, starting to crack at the seams. But here's the thing. The artist didn't say it, his label didn't say it, the analyst did. And that's what we're here to talk about today. We're actually not going to focus on the artist D.L.B. Nope, we're here to dissect the dissectors. This is an explainer about the explainers, the independent commentary show that has somehow become the unofficial, totally unsanctioned, and, let's be honest, absolutely essential guide to one of the most mysterious figures in modern music. So, let's just dive right in. The show is called The Deep Dive, aPodcast, and it's a production from Neon Core Media. What they've done really is they've set themselves up as the chief decoders for the entire D.L.B. universe, mapping out every little move and every cryptic signal during his incredibly planned-out final year. Now, what's so fascinating about this is that it's not just a tagline, It's their entire philosophy. They're not pretending to be some industry insiders with a secret sauce on the inside. No, they're broadcasting their identity as fans. Just fans with a microphone and an almost unhealthy obsession with connecting the dots that everybody else seems to be missing. Okay, so here's their mission, laid out clean and simple. They take this massive digital storm that's always swirling around D.L.B. The unverified audio files, the crazy forum conspiracies, and then the official, super cryptic album drops. And they try to forge it all into one single story that makes sense. In a world of chaos, they're the ones offering clarity. And this is their line in the sand. It is so important to them. This isn't just legal fine print. It's like a shield. It's their statement of purpose, and they repeat it constantly. They make it crystal clear. Neon Core Media and its shows, like The Deep Dive, are completely 100% separate from the world of D.L.B., of Daniel Bates and all of his ventures. We're talking 11/6 Music, Orison Holdings, you name it. They analyze the empire, they are not part of it, period. So how in the world do they actually do it, right? How do you take this flood of unverified, often contradictory information and turn it into a story so compelling that it holds an entire fan base totally captive? Well, they've got a playbook. First, they gather all the raw material, the leaked demos, the supposed internal memos. Then, and this is key, they hit the fan forums like Reddit. They don't see it as just gossip, they see it as this huge crowdsourced analysis engine. Then they build a bridge, connecting the official, polished art to all of that murky, unofficial lore. And what's the end result? A narrative that they claim is a shortcut to the truth. And you can literally see the two worlds they operate in right here. On one side, you have the official canon. It's polished, it's public, it's meticulously controlled. And on the other, you have the unverified lore. It's dark, it's atmospheric, it's totally ambiguous. The real magic of The Deep Dive is that they treat both of these as equally valid pieces of the same giant puzzle. But here's where their influence just explodes. They don't just report on the conversation happening around D.L.B. They fundamentally start to shape it. They become the architects of the fandom's shared vocabulary, literally inventing the terms people use to understand what they're seeing and hearing. This quote, this gets right to the heart of how they think. They're basically arguing that with an artist like D.L.B., what isn't being said is just as important as what is. The silence between albums, the lyrics that were never sung. To them, that's all part of the text. They are teaching an entire audience how to find meaning in negative space. It's brilliant, really. And they give these huge, abstract ideas these really potent names. The Saint Complex, right? That's what they call the public's need to simplify a complicated artist after they're gone. Survival's tax, the awful, personal price of turning your own pain into a product. An emotional amputation, the idea that with every album, D.L.B. was archiving a piece of his trauma and maybe losing a part of himself. These phrases, born on aPodcast, they just become instant canon for the entire community. Okay, so this is where the whole story just pivots. For months, The Deep Dive has been documenting D.L.B.'s world from this carefully maintained distance. But then, buried in a new leak, they find something that proves the camera has been turned right back around on them. They're no longer just watching the story, they're in it. So, it all boils down to this, doesn't it? What happens when an artist who has built his entire career on total, absolute narrative control finds out there are people successfully decoding his strategy in real time? This was the bombshell, a single-line item, not from a fan forum, but from an official internal corporate document from D.L.B.'s own organization, a guide for his team. He doesn't just know they exist, he's cataloged them. He has literally defined them inside his own system.
Just look at this parallel. It's chilling. On the left, you have the deep dive's public mission statement. On the right, the line from D.L.B's private file. It is a near-perfect mirror. He has acknowledged, and in a way, he has validated their status as outsiders and cultural commentators. The very independence they built their entire identity on has been observed, documented, and filed away by their own subject. The echo chamber now has a feedback loop.
Which leaves us with this tangled, fascinating question. In this bizarre new world of art and analysis, who actually has the power over the story? Is it the artist who creates the labyrinth, or is it the interpreters who come along and give us the map? It seems like the line between the two has never, ever been more blurred.